Hey guys, it's Wayne Santos, one of the editors over at CGM, and this week's Sound Off is going to be about pricing. Let's talk about game pricing. Now, the trend, generally speaking, is that as time goes by, the price of games either remains the same or goes up. If you're in Canada, you're particularly painfully familiar with this because, not too long ago, the price of games jumped from like $60 to $70 for the top tier AAA games. Now, what I want to talk about is the fact that, right now, there really only seem to be, two pricing schemes. There's either the indie stuff, which is $20 to $15, sometimes $10 if you're lucky, and then there's the AAA stuff, and by that, most people just assume it comes on a disc. And if it's on a disc, that usually means that you're looking at $70, maybe $60 if you're lucky. But I think at this point in time, considering how prevalent games are and how long they've been with us, we should seriously start considering other pricing schemes. What got me to thinking about this is actually one publisher in particular. They're called Focus Home Interactive. They put games out, and these games come out on disc as well as download, and they put out a few titles like Bound by Flame, which was an okay but not amazing fantasy game, and more recently they've released Sherlock Holmes Crimes and Punishments, which again is like a murder mystery game. And when you look at it, it obviously doesn't have a gigantic AAA budget. It's like you compare the graphics and the game design to something like Beyond Two Souls or infamous Second Son or any of those other exclusive AAA productions, and you can tell it does not have the same amount of money behind it. It doesn't compare to a Grand Theft Auto or The Last of Us. But you're still paying anywhere from $60 to $70 for a game like that. And I've been talking to quite a few people about these games that sort of fall in this middle tier, and there used to be a lot more of them in the past. And most people usually say it's I don't need to own an amazing game, but I don't want to pay $60 or $70 for a game like this either. If it had been $40, I might have considered it. If it had been $30, I definitely would have gone out and bought it. And a lot of people seem to feel the same way, that there are games that they would like to have, they just don't feel comfortable with paying the full price of a AAA game. So I think this is going to be a bitter pill to swallow for the publishers, but especially if we're talking in the digital download arena, where you don't have to worry about physical distribution, pressing the game to disc, or it's like trying to convince a game store to actually allocate space on their shelves to have it. I think that we've really got to start looking at what Steam is doing, and if a game comes out and everybody knows this is not going to be a GTA, this is not going to be The Last of Us, this is not going to be the new Final Fantasy game, you've really got to look hard at your pricing and maybe consider that $30 to $40 window. Because ultimately, if 3 or 4 million people are saying, I don't want to buy this game at $60, but that same 3 or 4 million people eventually come around when a sale pops up and the game is available for $30, wouldn't it actually be better to get that $30 now rather than waiting 6 months down the line before that money ends up in your pocket? Think about this, gaming industry. See ya.